Studying all your life far away from home, upskilling yourself enough to become a professor in the top two colleges of the country, getting married, having two kids, and then making the choice to go back to study to complete a PhD degree and influencing thousands of students in the marginalized section of the society. And then moving to the US and not being able to work for 2 whole years. This pretty much sums up the story of my next guest today. Thank you so much for tuning in to Candid with Candy. I am your host, Candy, and with me today, I have one of the most determined, focused, strong, and resilient mothers that I have ever met, Dr. Maria Silo. Let's hear her story. Hello.
Hi, Kenny.
Hi,
See
Dr.
you.
Maria Silo. I like saying your name like that. There's so much pride in me calling you doctor because I think the last time we met was probably in the early 2000s. Let me not mention the exact date.
Mhm. That's
Back
better.
then. And you were just Maria then, and now you're Dr. Maria Silo. So I'm so proud of you and happy for you. Welcome to my
Thank you.
show. Welcome to
Thank you,
Candid.
Candy. Thank you for the invite. Good to be here.
Yeah, you're most welcome. And I would like you to please introduce yourself just a couple of minutes for our viewers, and then I'll go to shooting the questions.
Okay. My name is Maria Silo, and I born and raised in Aizawl, Mizoram, India, and I left Aizawl for my studies in I think around 1996. So from Bangalore, I moved here to Silicon Valley, California in October 2016.
Wow, that's quite a journey, and that's exactly what I wanted to talk about as well. Your transition from Bangalore, I think that was your last station in India, to
Yeah.
Silicon Valley.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that you have an interesting story to share, and I'm so excited to let our viewers know. And thank you so much. I know these stories are pretty personal, and for you to kind of allow the rest of us to be a part of that story,
Mm-hmm.
I thank you for that.
My pleasure in sharing stories. If it's gonna influence somebody or inspire somebody, it's
And
always
learn from your
yeah.
experience because
Mhm.
the situation that both of us are in, I think, is quite common for a lot of Indian spouses in the
Yeah.
US.
Yeah. It's just yeah, life yeah, like they say everyone has his or her own battle in life. So yeah.
Yep, absolutely. So with that, right, and I know I was really excited about the word doctor in your name. Can you
Mm-hmm.
tell us a little bit about your academic background and also delve
Sure.
into, what your job was in India before you came here?
Oh, I've always been in academics. Graduated in from LSR, then went to do my master's, my MPhil, and in JNU Center for Political Studies. After my MPhil, I got the invitation to work as a permanent faculty in LSR, Lady Shriram College, Delhi University. So I worked there for more than 2 years, then got married and shifted to Bangalore, and I started working in St. Joseph College.
Mhm.
After having children, I took a break for some time. Then I did my PhD at the same center in GNU.
Ah,
Mm-hmm.
oh, okay. That's interesting. I didn't know that. So,
Mm-hmm.
so after you got married, you did your doctorate degree after having children.
Yeah, after having 2 kids.
Wow. I have one, and I can't imagine going back to studying. Maybe like a short course, but actually doing a doctorate degree. So,
Yeah, it takes a lot of guts, the audacity, the dream,
yeah.
in spite of being a mom, being a wife. So I do have, while I was doing my PhD, I do have motivational songs. I listen to motivational songs. You won't believe. I would.
I do believe that. That was going to be my next question. I was like, what drove you? Because, like I said, I know how it feels to be a mom and having two kids and then studying.
Mhm.
I think you put it really well, right? The audacity to dream.
Yeah, I
Um,
have. I
and
have that. Then Pink sang this song. It's try. You gotta get up and
yeah,
try. It was one of my motivational song
yeah.
while I was doing my PhD.
I love Pink. I listen to
Mm.
a lot of her songs, and yeah, I like Try a lot too. So
Yeah.
that's good. At least you found that.
Mhm.
And so now coming back to, you said you came here in 2016, right?
Yeah.
Did you have a job in hand before you came here, or how did that happen?
I was always working in India, so I think I came here in October 2016. So I left my job in September 2016. So I've always loved working in college, university. I find it very worthwhile to think that I'm impacting lives in a small way. I love the interactions I had with students, especially from the marginalized sections of the society, those who could not afford regular colleges, you know. So I like to mobilize them and see see what they can do and how they can admit themselves in spite of the many challenges they face, socioeconomic challenges, particularly from students from the northeast India.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was their mentor. I was their, what do you say, their, yeah, guide for how to live in a city that's so unknown to them
Yeah, yeah.
hitherto, previously. Yeah.
And that's such a noble thing to do. I think being a teacher or somebody who can inspire the minds of the youth is so
Mm-hmm.
important, and we still have very few people in our country, especially in our side of the world, which is the northeast part of India. So
Mm-hmm.
um, what I'll say is, what I can say is, great job, and you've already inspired me.
But the challenges is very different. The living conditions, the lifestyles, the aptitude, it's very different for, particularly for Northeast students to come to, the heartland of India. The process of integrating to the bigger city and its, you know, and its many life facets, it's hard. So I've experienced it when I was in college here in LSR. Then when I went back to work, I always make sure that I can be of service to the students who,
Would have gone
who
through
are
the
from
same
this,
thing, right?
yeah, region.
So then let me ask you this, right? Of the
Mhm.
many students that you kind of mentored and
Yeah,
really nurtured, do you keep in touch with some of them?
of course. They
Okay,
followed me on Instagram, Facebook.
okay, okay. Great.
I yeah,
And
that's all we can do. But sometimes they come to me for, what should I do? I want to be this. I want to be that. What type of courses should I take? Things like that. So there's a thirst. There's a hunger for knowledge. There's a they are driven.
yeah, your three daughters have a great role model in you, and they do have really big shoes to fill as they grow up. So
For them, I'm just their mom. They don't care about what I've done
not
outside the
true. That's
family.
not true. Probably right now because they're much younger, but they'll start kind of appreciating, all of that as they grow older. Trust me, they will.
Yeah.
You don't seem to convince, but I am.
Now they're least interested in what I do. They're like, I don't care.
Whatever.
I don't care.
No, no, that will turn around. I know it will. Okay, so with that, I'll quickly jump into your life here in the States. What I heard from you when we spoke earlier was that your husband got a job in Silicon Valley, and that's how the whole family moved here. but you had to leave your job in India, obviously. And how was it for you the first 2 years of your life here? I mean, you said you didn't have a job, so that's something that I'd like to really know.
Yeah, see, Candy, I was like we've talked about. I was not just working in India. I was, what do you say? I was a mentor. I was a guide to many students. So all of a sudden, well, I thought that once we came to the Silicon Valley, I would be able to work in the next 9 months. That's what the H-1B visa spouse get. They get they get to work after 9 months of their settlement here. So I thought I would be able to work, but my husband's job was so much that, I mean, it was so much based on, corporate life. Corporate world is like you never have that security of job. So
I've been there.
yeah. So he was, after about 7 to 8 months, he was laid off from his company. So before that, he had to search for a new job. So yeah, I just have to wait and wait. That's the visa system in the US.
It's no fun, right? Because your husband had to switch companies, so the 9 month
Lapse.
lapse, and you had to redo it. You had to redo your
Yeah.
work permit, right?
Yeah, then he was hired in another job that took another 9 months. So that means
Wow.
18 months. So by the time I got my work visa, I was just too frustrated. I decided to pack my bags with my younger daughter and just took a one-way ticket to India, where I belong.
I love this expression. When I asked you about this, you said, I think what you said was, the work permit came in 3 days before my flight ticket, and I said, screw you, and I left.
Yeah, screw the work permit. I don't care. I took a one-way ticket, took my younger daughter, then reached Delhi, and then after that, I went back home to Mizoram, Aizawl. Then stayed there for the next 4 months, 4 to 5 months. I just have to do it for my sanity. Otherwise, you just reach that breaking point where, see, it would have been different if I was a woman who've never worked before, who've never really worked. But I'm not that woman. I've always been a determined, driven, focused person who wanted to give back as much as I've learned, I can, whatever I've learned, and not being able to do that here. All right. I do volunteer when I was not able to work. I do volunteer in my daughter's schools. Then
seminars is that, right?
When I enrolled in Stanford University, I did a creative writing course in Stanford University for a few months. You just have to say, I need a break from whatever existing conditions that I am living, and have the leap of faith to do something different, to travel or to try out something.
Look at me, that's what I'm doing. I'm taking this leap of faith and starting a YouTube channel.
That's what you just have to. That's what I admire about you. You're just doing it. Like, just do it.
I don't know how to edit. I don't know how to do anything, but we can learn, right?
And that's what they say. Success is right in front of you. It's not somewhere there.
My mantra has always been, feel the fear, but do it anyway, right? So when you're starting something new, you always feel uncomfortable because you're outside of your comfort zone, and nobody knows. It's a risk, right? You don't know whether it's going to work, whether it's not going to work out. But unless you do it, how are you going to find out? That's what it's about. Okay, so with that now, you also have a very similar story with another friend that I have. when you came back to the United States after being in India for 4 5 months, right? Because
That
you
was
said,
last year.
yeah, your daughter had to start her school, and obviously
Yeah.
you couldn't holiday forever,
Hmm.
so you had to come back to your family here. Uh, the retail story, right? Again, this has nothing to do with retail being bad or anything else, but the kind of switch or the shift that you had to do from who you are, someone
Yeah.
that someone with so much power enough to change people's lives and to change people's circumstances and choices, to getting into retail and doing, I think you were doing some back end work, right? So I just want to understand how you felt, because I was like, you need to be a big person to do this, and you did it, and by the end of it, you started enjoying it.
So what happened last year is that I came back and I started applying for jobs, but recruitment in companies takes very long. So I
Yeah.
wanted a job now. I went for a walk-in interview at Home Goods, a retail store, and I said, "Can you get me a job?" So I filled up all that was required. Then I got a job after a week.
Mhm.
It was a backroom processing. I had to open the parcels and arrange the home good stuff that arrived from wherever
And with the little uniform with your name tag on.
with apron. We wear apron.
That's so cute. Okay.
So uh, I've learned a lot. It's because I some of the people that I worked with were doctors at the retail store, were like engineers and very educated people, but who were transitioning like mine in their life, in their career life. I mean, you just have to put your ego aside, you just have to put all those decorations in your CV aside and just do the work, just do it, just earn some bucks, just earn some dollars and get on with your life. But Candy, it's quite a good experience.
Yeah.
People don't look at you like, oh, you're working in retail and you must be such a from a low uh, income category. They don't. We see.
Or you didn't study enough, right? So is it fair to say that uh, at the end of the day, you felt useful, and you felt like you were doing something that was worth it? And I think what you rightly said, in terms of here,
Mm.
nobody really cares about your background, or what you studied or what you don't study. the, the dignity of labor, I think, is something that is uh,
Yeah.
so great in this country.
Mm-hmm.
And and you felt so useful, right? Like, yay, I did something after 18 months, more than that, over 2 years, because you had gone home and come back.
Mm-hmm.
So after 2 years, you were actually doing something, and you were earning your own bucks, your own money, and you were
Mm-hmm.
spending it.
Yeah,
At
it's just where you work is the medium for earning your living. It's not the end. It's the means to the end, right? Workplace are means to an end. It's not an end itself. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
so long as you learn to be indifferent and not take it personal, I think that's what happens in all types of work-life balance, wherever whatever job you do, it's
And you and I have learnt it the hard way, if you will. I don't think we really, if we didn't come at a point in our life where we had to worry about a job, maybe our mindset and our outlook and our thought process would have still been very different, right?
mm-hmm.
So God also places us in certain situations because He wants to make us realize the beauty and the joy that we can get from the little things in life, right? It's like you said, it's not always about chasing big bucks, or chasing things that are always impossible. So yeah. um,
Yeah, yeah, it's not I mean, I've come to realize that what life is, relationship is more important than job or money. So I had to again leave my retail job because I was expecting our third child. It was our surprise bonus.
Yay. Oh. And now, so basically, you've stopped working because of your daughter. And congratulations once
But
again.
my mind has not stopped working. I'm still
It
looking
never
out
will.
for opportunities. Yeah. I have decided to upgrade my skills, maybe do a market research or become a product designer.
Good luck, Maria, with your job hunt.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
I know for a fact, because good things only happen to good people. I know for a fact that you land the job that you'd be like, oh my god, okay, I asked for this and I got something much bigger. That's going to happen to you soon. And I wish you the
I
very
hope so,
best for it.
Candy.
No, it
You,
will happen. It
yeah,
will happen.
it takes time. It
Yeah.
takes time for good things to happen.
And it will.
But
I mean, look at your determination and look at your, like you said, your guts, your grit, and the way you've carried yourself throughout this time. What advice would you give to the spouses that are currently going through the same situation, right? Because this is not an isolated case. The work permits take a long time to come, and a lot of spouses get frustrated.
okay, before my advice, I wanted to talk about a story about a friend of mine. Okay, she came here as a spouse of H1B holder. She was not able to work for 8 years. She has a India charter accountant degree. When they finally got their green card, she decided to start a company. Okay, now she's the founder and the CEO of her company that hires, I don't know how many engineers. And so I mean,
So there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Is that what you're saying?
there's always silver lining. What I want to emphasize is that for those who have come to America based as a dependent visa, first they should try to study again and not to lose heart, to keep the faith, sharpen your skills and do something that's marketable, which I'm trying to do.
And do something that you love.
Yeah.
It may not necessarily give you money, but
Mhm.
try to find your passion again. Try to find something that means something to you. And
Yes.
that's what I've been doing.
Take the leap of faith.
Just do it.
Yeah, you're halfway there.
That's why Nike uses it, right? Just do it. Thank you so much for your time, Maria. And this is now the end of the show. I really had a wonderful time speaking with you. It actually felt like we were in the same room, probably at some coffee shop, sipping good coffee and just you telling me about your life after we left college. So I feel so happy and so honored to know someone who's as passionate, as courageous, as determined as you. And I wish you the very best for your new role, wherever that may be. I'll definitely keep in touch. And I know that a few years down the line, who's to know, you could also be the CEO and founder of your own company. So,
Yeah, we could do that, I'm always open for adventure.
yeah. So, good luck and thank you so much for your time. Have a wonderful day and stay safe.
Thank you, Candy. Always a pleasure.
My learning from Dr. Maria's story is a personification of the saying, where there's a will, there's a way. So, my question to each of you today is, what's your excuse? Thank you so much for watching. I request you to like and subscribe to my channel to get more of these moving stories. I wish each of you a blessed new year. Stay safe and see you next week.